Syed Waqar Andrabi is an accomplished professional with a diverse background spanning finance, event management, and business development. Currently, he's serving as a associate director at Updapt ESG tech company in the Middle East. And Waqar combines his expertise in SaaS solutions and sustainability to drive innovation and foster positive environmental impact. And ESG is one of my favorite topics. And the moment I came across Wakar's profile, I thought, let me bring him to the show. That's how it happened. And with a strong foundation in communication, leadership, and relationship management, he's dedicated to advancing ESG initiatives and shaping the future of sustainable business practices, which is the need of the hour. And as we prepare to delve into an important conversation on the topic at hand, driving sustainability, Syed Waqar Andrabi on ESG innovation in the Middle East. Here's an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest's brain first. So, Waqar, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you are ready, let's get started. I take that silence as yes, and we'll move forward. Curiosity,
Important.
invention,
Innovation.
future,
Right.
book,
40 rules.
movie,
Cinema.
environment.
In danger.
Agreed. And then universe,
Cosmos.
leadership,
Dubai.
role model.
um, in making.
Last one is success.
Happiness.
Okay. And I've been to Dubai last year. Dubai is truly a role model. I can see that kind
Absolutely.
of development and it's amazing. Superb. And Waqar, thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round, which means there is one more rapid fire round toward the end of the episode. And before I formally welcome you to the show, let me welcome the audience. So, folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also your career. And thank you so much for tuning in. And Waqar, hearty welcome to TGV. Thank you for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naveen. It's my pleasure to join you here, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm doing really good. I hope the same for you and our audience as well.
Absolutely. I'm doing very well and thank you. And let's begin with your success mantra, Waqar. So please share the top three things that have contributed to your success so far.
Well, I would start with my upbringing, I would say.
Mhm.
Major contribution set the baseline for making me what I am today, and still a long way to go. And the second would be, my chances to experience diverse cultures, people, and teachers over during my studies and during my different, work-related experiences. That is the second thing. And the third thing, I would say, I always had that urge to do something, but not just anything. So I had to do. I was thinking like I'll do something, and not just anything that everybody else is doing. So I would accredit that to these three.
Wow. And I rarely come across this upbringing part, which is often overlooked. And I'm glad you mentioned that. In fact, our upbringing plays a critical role in terms of how we lead our life and how we emerge as a person as we progress. Wonderful. Yeah, Wakar, in your opinion, what are some of the biggest challenges that organizations in the Middle East face when it comes to implementing ESG initiatives, and how can they overcome these challenges?
So the way I would put it, as per my experience, is that basic thing that they fail to understand is where to start from. Where to start from when it comes to ESG and sustainability. So a company always suffers like, okay, now it is on a plate, and now where to start from. And the most important part of that whole process is data. How do we streamline that? And how do we understand that where we are and where we need to be, and then how do we strategize regarding that, and then we analyze it, and how to put it in front of people, how to actually say that we don't have any we don't have any experience as of now with ESG or with the reporting or with these analysis, and we are not in this league as of now. but
Hmm.
the slight chances are that they fail to understand they are already in that journey, despite being the fact that they're running a business enterprise. Always, all the companies always have a next level of ESG performance, whether they measure it or not. Despite
Yeah.
they measure it or not, they already have an experience. The only struggle for them is actually gathering the right data from the right person and putting it at the right place, so that this whole circle comes in line, and they're able to reach where they want to reach. So that is something, people see it as a very exhaustive method of collecting the data. It's all done in a very manual way as of now, and that is what I feel that's the challenge for them currently.
Yeah. Got it. And also, Wakar, your journey from accounts and finance background to your current role as associate director at Updapt ESG Tech Co is quite fascinating. Like, how did your interest in SaaS, blockchain, and ESG intersect to lead you to where you are today?
So I think the first step for that was when I moved from India to Malaysia. I did my master's in Kuala Lumpur in business administration, and there I had an opportunity to interact and engage with a variety of new topics, and especially after seeing Malaysia being an emerging, developing country, and seeing the kind of technology and the kind of process, the kind of efforts that they are making, that led me something more towards development.
Mm-hmm.
But information technology was always running parallel in my mind. I was a tech geek. I used to, explore new technologies. And then SaaS was something that came in my mind, and then blockchain. And after completing my master's, I stepped into blockchain. And blockchain, after exploring blockchain and organizing and running a couple of conferences on that, and during my research, I came across the topic of ESG. I was well aware of sustainability, but ESG
Mm-hmm.
was something that was not too usual for me.
Right.
Since I keep on updating myself with the current affairs, and I was tracking the COP27, which happened at Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt, and then I saw that Dubai signed up for COP28, and
Mm.
ESG was something that everybody is talking about. Then I started my research about what is this ESG, how we can embed technology into that, and that is where I came to know that, okay, so this is a real problem that we are facing right now. Actually, organizations are facing right now. And then I started exploring different technologies that can help them with them. And that is when I hosted, also, along with my previous company, we hosted the first ESG summit in the UAE as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of a brief overview of my journey.
Great. I think it is rare to have that kind of combination, and probably you have picked up right opportunities at the right time, and you are working on something which is so fascinating, and at the same time, it is so fulfilling because you're trying to protect Mother Earth,
Absolutely.
the environment as such, right? So wonderful. And
Exactly.
Wakar, as someone who is deeply involved in this ESG SaaS solutions, could you elaborate on how Updapt is contributing to sustainability efforts in the Middle East region, particularly regarding climate change and achieving these net zero goals?
Yeah. So let me give you a brief idea about what Updapt is.
Hmm.
So Updapt it's a digital ESG tech company wherein we help companies to report, monitor, and analyze their ESG related data metrics. And that is what we do it in a very digitalized way through our solution, wherein the firms eradicate the process of doing all side of that manual data entry work, and doing the calculations very manually, resulting in the discrepancy of the data as such. Now, coming back to the question, where how do we help these companies, or like what are the challenges that the companies in the Middle East or organizations in the Middle East are facing? We have seen that over the past year or two, Middle East has been emerging as a industry leader, or say global leader, with respect to adhering to sustainability initiatives and taking bold steps as well. If what we saw at the last COP28 as well. So,
Mm.
Middle East, many of the oil and gas companies, largest set of them are from the Middle East, and they've adhered to, they've signed up for net zero methane emissions by 2030. And a larger set of companies are already on their pledge towards net zero carbon emissions by 2050. But the thing is that how do we do that? It's not just that we pledge and we don't look into it and we don't, that's the target for the companies. Now, how do they reach them? That's where we come in and we help them to set their targets, do this target setting, and actually analyze the data, which would actually tell them in real that whether they are on their journey, where they are on their journey, what changes do they need to make, where are all the points of improvements that they can make, within their business ecosystem, and what all changes they need, which all are the points of highest importance that they need to target, which is hindering their target. And based on various AI and machine learning insights, we give them an option to have predictive analysis that where they would be the next 2 3 years. And similarly, a lot of other products, in our product suite, which help the journeys in their sustainability reporting, monitoring, and analytical process, which eventually helps them to do their target settings in the right way and eradicating a lot of options, a majority of the options for greenwashing. Because we believe that the more accurate your data is, the more accurately you'll be able to,
Yeah.
present it in front of everybody else, and not just seeing it as a compliance part, but we actually encourage, and I've been advocating it at a lot of conferences and events, that we should always see ESG reporting or ESG sustainability reporting and monitoring as a value prospect, not just as a compliance.
Yeah, not just as a complaint, and you brought in another important term, greenwashing. Certain organizations are doing it for the sake of it without real spirit, right? It just on the later part of it.
Exactly.
Wonderful. And Wakar, one other thing that I was enthused by looking at your profile is you also have this event management and conference production experience, right? So, how do you see these industry
Yes.
events and conferences playing a role in advancing discussions and initiatives around sustainability and driving ESG practices as such?
Wonderful. I believe, see, I was the one who came into this through these industry conferences and events. So that's what drive me also into this space. So I would say conferences are doing a fantastic, they're playing a fantastic role in, letting people know about this thing, especially, be that large size conferences like COPs and other conferences which are organized at a global level under the patronage of United Nations or any local governments or regulatory bodies. But rather than that, these small events and conferences, which I see a majority of them spilled around Middle East, they're doing a fantastic job in
Hmm.
educating,
Hmm.
actually encouraging people to come and step up, because sustainability is something that is not just an option right now. It's actually it's something that is of utmost importance,
Yeah.
and we need to take care of that. So in these conferences and events, we always see people coming up with with their own experiences. We see industry thought leaders coming up and letting people know how they can do that, how they can streamline it. And a wonderful part of that is also exhibitions, and wherein different technologies with respect to these challenges come up, and they showcase their technologies, their innovations, their inventions in front of a large set of appropriate people whom they need to target and whom they would be really beneficial to. It's a kind of a connecting a connect between these kind of technologies and the end users. So I believe that is doing a wonderful job, and that is something that should be, that should be happening moreover, since we are past the COVID section. So now physical meetings and conferences are playing a really high,
Yeah.
vital role, pivotal
Hmm.
role in taking decisions, in making people take appropriate decisions.
And also, a while ago, you mentioned you guys at Updapt are providing comprehensive reporting solutions in the ESG space. So, how do you ensure that these solutions not only meet the regulatory requirements but also provide some actionable insights? Because those insights are very important for organizations to take certain crucial decisions to improve their sustainability performance.
So as I mentioned earlier, I advocate that Updapt is not just taking taking any other digital ESG reporting tool, just is not just for the compliance part, so that the company needs the ESG reporting to be done. But I see that, up by Updapt by leveraging advanced data analysis and industry expertise. So the continuous monitoring and monitoring of the organization and what do I say, all the changes to ensure compliance is there. And apart from that, we encourage through the highly customizable dashboards and analysis, which I said, which are earlier combined with AI and machine learning. So it helps not just the ESG team, but the also C-level executives like the CFO or the CEO of
Yeah.
the company.
Mhm. Hmm.
Through that data, they're really freely able to go through this to their stakeholders and actually have crucial decisions about about sustainability as well, and rather than not only sustainability but also taking, as I said, seeing it as a value prospect and how they can make the efficiency of the business operations better. So not just taking the taking the care of compliance part, but also for smooth and efficient through various dashboards and even peer benchmarking is something that I would like to mention here, where the companies are able to say where they are, whether they are a laggard or they are an industry top leader with respect to sustainability based practices, eventually resulting in making the company more, eco-friendly and best to work with for other stakeholders as well.
Wonderful. So, Wakar, I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation, and it is time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode. If you're ready, I'll trigger the second rapid fire
Yeah,
round. Okay.
absolutely ready for that.
Okay, here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
First of all, I would place a really big image of our dying Earth. Below that, I would write our planet,
Hmm,
our home, our responsibility. Responsibility, and below that, it would be sustainability is just not a choice; it's a future.
super. I love it. Amazing. And I'm interested to understand about your dream collaboration in the ESG space.
So that would be, of course, a collaboration with the United Nations, especially United Nations Environmental Program. They are
Hmm.
doing a wonderful job in advocating what all is required now, and people are joining them, nations are joining them, and with the help of our technology and their initiatives, and I think we can make a wonderful team together.
Yeah. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
I would say passionate.
Passionate. And your go to networking tip for building long lasting relationships.
So I would say it's it's something that I learned from my mentors as well. Make the person whom you talk to, or you're going to build a networking relation, love you. Not
Yeah.
only by talking about business, the person should actually like you. He should like talking to you, and that is the best tip that I would say. I would give to somebody. Make the person like you, and your work is done.
No, very nice. Super. And what is the most unexpected skill you have developed in your career?
Well, regarding that, I would say that my courage to go up to anybody, no matter who it is, just go up to him and start a conversation from zero. So that is something that was really unexpected of me, but I've done that and I'm doing it currently.
Hmm.
Starting a conversation with anyone, anywhere about anything.
Yeah, got it. And here comes the last one for rapid fire. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
I think it should be something, a device wherein you can record or put it on in text what you're thinking about,
Uh-huh.
your ideas should be actually, you should be able to record them and see what you're thinking about something, so that you're it's also a kind of more innovations happen, more inventions happen, bringing you ideas and onto the paper directly from your mind with the help of AI, maybe something related to that.
Got it. Love it. Love it. And let's flip back to the mainstream after that amazing second rapid fire round. So, lastly, what advice would you give to young professionals aspiring to make an impact in the fields of sustainability or ESG and SaaS technology based on your own experiences and journey?
See, first of all, I would say don't restrict yourself. Believe in embracing interdisciplinary learning. Environmental sciences combined with business management or technology and even policy. So I would say embrace opportunities, inter-industry, and as I said, interdisciplinary. Don't restrict yourself to that. Keep yourself updated about what all is going around and what all is the need of the hour. And second thing, I would say, as I said, as you mentioned in the very beginning of this conversation, stay curious,
Yeah.
seek collaborations, stay curious and seek collaborations wherever you can.
Hmm.
And then the last one, I would say, show persistence.
Yeah.
Take small steps, and by the time you will reach somewhere, don't hesitate to take small steps. So that is something that I would recommend. And ESG and sustainability is a very growing, industry as of now. A lot of potential in this thing, and a lot of, and I would say that people who are joining this in, this space would actually love working here.
Yeah.
Because as I said, that billboard will also say it's not just not a choice, it's a future. They're working on their future and the world's future as well. It might result in that they're working on not on anything, they're just working on something that is very important.
Got it. I loved your tips, and I'm sure they are going to have profound impact on whoever is going to follow them. And it's such a
I'm
pleasure
obliged,
hosting you.
Naveen.
Yeah. How is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice?
Um, uh, I believe, it's really wonderful talking to you, Naveen. It was a very superb conversation and nice rapid fires that you did. And I wishing you best of luck with, you're absolutely doing the right thing. And I believe guiding through the voice. And I believe, and I wish you the best of luck to guiding more people and connecting with the larger, set of people in the future
Yeah.
and guide them to the right way. I would advocate sustainability.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being our guiding voice today, and I really appreciate it. And looking
My
forward to hosting you
my pleasure, Naveen.
many more times in future. And I
Uh,
wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Naveen. Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, same here. So, friends, that was our episode with Syed Waqar Andrabi. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request in case if you haven't already subscribed to TGV, the Guiding Voice podcast. Please subscribe from wherever you have tuned in because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes and you cannot afford to miss the amazing content that we are producing by hosting wonderful people across the globe. And if you have enjoyed the conversation, please share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the guiding voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now it's time for us to hop into the trivia segment. And here are the three lesser known facts about the SDG goals. What do you mean by SDG? Sustainable Development Goals. If you talk about the origins, right, it dates back to Rio Plus 20 summit. And while the adoption of SDGs by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015 is well known, but their roots can be traced back to the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, also known as Rio Plus 20 Summit, held in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 2012. So it was during this summit that member states recognized the need for a set of universal goals to address global challenges related to poverty, inequality, environmental degradation, and climate change. Next aspect is around consultation with the civil society. The development of the SDGs involved extensive consultation with civil society organizations, including NGOs, grassroots movements, and advocacy groups. Through various platforms such as online consultations, thematic meetings, and regional dialogues, this inclusive approach ensured that the goals reflected the diverse perspectives and priorities of people around the world, making them truly universal and participatory. And third is about integration of environmental and social goals. So while the SDGs encompass a wide range of objectives, including poverty eradication, health, education, gender equality, and economic growth, they also integrate environmental sustainability and social justice principles. Unlike their predecessors, the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, which primarily focused on social issues, the SDGs recognize the interconnectedness of environmental, social, and economic dimensions of sustainable development, which is aiming for a more holistic and integrated approach to global challenges. So these are the facts which I wanted to share from the SDG perspective. Likewise, if you know any interesting facts or if you are come across any creative approaches related to either SDG or ESG initiatives, do let me know. And folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. And we would love to hear from you. So do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback either through our social media platform, or you can also email us at the guiding voice for you at gmail.com, for as in digit 4 and you as in letter U. And let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life, also your career. And until next time, take care, stay inspired. Remember, the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest.